Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 3 of Down the Sidelines. On your away sideline for this episode, I am your host, the one and only Matty Icy, Matt Crowley. And on the home sideline, you got the one and only.
Wow, I'm on the home sideline this week.
I'll,
That's a shocker.
I'll, I'll, I'll make you the
Um,
home.
yeah, on the home sideline here, we got your boy Brenden Retzloff here coming in from Stevens Point, Wisconsin once again.
And as always, I'm broadcasting over here from Lakeland University. All right, so kind of over last episode, we kind of went over the games. Well, not kind of did. We went over the games, gave us our thoughts and opinions, recapped the scores. Obviously, a lot did happen, but I don't know, nothing much from last episode. We'll be doing game predictions, major injuries that have just been sustained in big trade moves, not trades, but free agent signings, I guess you will say, during this episode.
Yeah, there have been a few pretty big moves. I mean, they weren't like necessarily big acquisitions that were made by their team, but as a Packer fan, there's one trade or I guess player that got dropped from the roster that I'm very glad about.
Yeah, and I don't. I mean, I know the player. We actually just discussed this as well, but yeah, it should be interesting what we got our opinions on that. But I think without further ado, I say we hop right in. I'll let you start it off.
Yes, sir. So, starting off today's podcast, uh, we're gonna go over our power rankings here. So we're gonna be going over the top 10 teams in the league right now according to ESPN, and then we're gonna bring up our own lists, and we should get into a little bit of a heated debate or discussion. Would you rather? So, yeah, it's gonna be a pretty fun time to go over what teams are part of the top 10, what teams aren't, and especially with the way Week 10 played out, teams like the Philadelphia Eagles, the Buffalo Bills, the Minnesota Vikings, where we will see them in the rankings. So we'll take a look at ESPN here.
I guess first off, new number one, the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that's no surprise to anyone after how the Eagles performed on Monday night against the Commanders. I think they finally found their kryptonite for the Eagles. You just got to keep that offense off the field, and you just got to chew clock, it seems like. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, it seems like the Philadelphia Eagles, like you said, once we started this series, Matt, it was basically a cupcake schedule for this football team. And maybe we're going to start to see the Philadelphia Eagles show their weakness. As you said, the kryptonite to them is whenever their defense is on the field. So tough struggles, and especially against when they played the Commanders, you wouldn't expect a team that's coached by Ron Rivera. And this was after his mother passed away, too. So it was a very emotional win for this Commanders team.
And
But
I will say
Taylor
this.
Heineke, go ahead.
I will say this. When the Steelers were 11 and 0, they played the Commanders and they lost. So I think Heineke has that dog in him of just going after these undefeated teams and just fucking their shit up. It's like, hey, we all know how that Steelers year ended. They started 11 and 0, and then I think they finished 11 and 5. I think they lost 5 straight, or they finished 12 and 4.
That's an interesting point that you bring up.
So we're gonna see the Eagles go possibly will be 8 and 9. Yeah, 8 and 9.
We're gonna talk about the Philadelphia Eagles' upcoming schedule here too. I think that it's very possible that this team could end up losing quite a few games in a row. Um, some people may disagree with me on this, but The way the Colts played last week with Jeff Saturday starting his first week as a head coach of that team, they played phenomenal football. And the Eagles are going to take on the Colts this week. Not an easy game, to be honest with you. And then the next week, they got Green Bay on Sunday Night Football. But that game is going to be in Philadelphia. So we're going to see how each team responds on national television to possibly a pretty darn big football game. Then the next week, they have the Titans, then the Giants, the Bears, the Cowboys, the Saints, and then the Giants again. So, how many losses or wins do you see this team getting here in the
Well,
coming weeks?
I'm pulling up their schedule right now. Like you said, the Colts. I don't know. Maybe it will be a different team since they are starting Matt Ryan, but I still think they will beat the Colts. Green Bay, I think, will be a toss-up because it's Green Bay, so you don't know how they're going to play. Titans, I think they're going to lose. The Giants, I think they're going to lose. The Bears, I think they should be able to win. And then the Cowboys, I think they're going to lose that game. So I see them losing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games.
I could see him losing 5 or 6 of these coming games. I know I talked a bunch of crap about the Indianapolis Colts last
We
week.
both did. We both did.
We
We
both
both put
did.
them down as our 32th team, and they just fucking proved us wrong.
I'm kind of glad that they did, because they have a kind of star-studded talent. Dude, Jonathan Taylor, dude is
He's
a
back.
dog.
He's back now. He is definitely the missing piece in that offense. But I like it how we were supposed to be talking about the Chiefs, but we went straight to the Eagles. But uh
And I mean, the Eagles are such a big topic now because you
you're
just didn't
not
expect
wrong.
them to lose the other day.
No. Which leading into number 2 is the Eagles, which that's no surprise there. They are now no undefeated teams left in the NFL.
I'm so glad, dude. I was sick and tired of these fucking Philadelphia Eagles fans saying, "Fly Eagles fly, we're going to the Super Bowl."
Bird
Like,
down.
no, you're not. There's so much time left in the season. You gotta consider what the playoffs are gonna be like. You don't really even know what the playoff experience with any of your players really is, except for maybe your more experienced guys like Jason Kelsey. I
I
mean,
think that's the only guy who has any playoff
Brandon
experience.
Graham a little bit, but basically
Well,
anybody
I don't
else.
know.
Maybe AJ Brown, but
Yeah, he did because he played with the Titans last year when they got knocked out in the first round by the Bengals.
I loved that football game.
I know, but yeah, I think we agree there. Number 3, my Minnesota Vikings. Obviously, we'll get later into that debate when we go through our own power rankings, but yeah, definitely deserve top 3, maybe even top 2 in my opinion.
Yeah,
The comeback
you're
kids, the comeback kids. I don't know what you want me to expect. They were down 17 in the second half, came back, won at 33-30. I know we went over the immaculate catch by Justin Jefferson. We went over that game. It's just that I don't know. It's just that we explained a lot about it, and then yeah, I think we're just over here to give us our honest opinions. I think maybe a little bit too low, but that's just my biased opinion. But what's your take on this?
yeah, like you said, we're gonna be going over our own rankings. Number 3, it is a pretty good spot for this team. I have them in a different spot than number 3. I'm not gonna say yet. Um, but I absolutely agree with you that these guys have been the comeback kids this season. And that's the part that scares me about this team. If they play in so many close possession games, like you've been saying, they give you heart attacks every single week. Um, if this is going to catch up to them towards the end of the season, and then if it does, how are they going to respond in the playoffs? Because I mean, this team's clearly going to win the NFC North. They're easily going to get a spot in the playoffs.
What
I
they have
don't.
a what 5 game lead over the Packers now, or is it 4?
I believe it's a 5-game lead.
Yeah, so that's a huge lead.
Yeah, I don't see them giving up their position of number one in the NFC North at all.
And
So,
I think
the,
the only reason that they're ranked 3 is because they're trailing in the second half. I think that's why they go into the games. Yeah, they make a sustained scoring lead like at halftime, like maybe by 3 or 4 points. But in the third quarter, we're not a third quarter team, so then we let them score, and then we have to fight back. And I think that's why they're at number 3 right now.
I think you're absolutely correct about that. I mean, your team has played in so many close games.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy. You guys beat the Lions by 4 in like week 3 or something like that.
It was because
And
we did
then
just.
and then you guys had the game in London where you won by a double doink.
Sorry, Bears
That was
fans.
absolutely insane. Facts. And then you guys beat the Bears by 7. That was a pretty close game from what I remember. Then you guys had the game against the non-tool-less Dolphins, and you guys only won by 8, which, I mean, people would say Tua Tagovailoa is almost like an MVP candidate in the league. Like, you could debate about that, and without him on the field, the Dolphins are kind of nothing, as we kind of saw, because I believe Tua has been undefeated all year, if I am correct, right?
Yeah, I think he's fifth. Yeah, every game that he has started this year, I think maybe some games last year. I can't remember the stat, but I know for this year for sure. Every game that Tua has started and finished, they're undefeated in.
So there's that part that you got to think about too.
Well,
As
speaking on that topic, should we go into the number 4 since we're kind of talking about them right now?
yeah, might as well.
So number 4 is the Miami Dolphins, sitting at 7-3. Like we said, Tua every game that he started this year and finished, they're undefeated in. So obviously, he started against the Bengals, they lost. He didn't play against Minnesota. Who's their other loss to?
Um, did they lose to the Bengals?
I said Cincinnati, Minnesota. There was one more game
Is it
that
New England?
I,
Um,
I'm checking right now.
Miami
Oh,
Dolphins.
the Jets. They lost 40-17. So they lost 3 straight. They lost against Cincy, they lost against New
That makes
York, and they
sense.
lost against Minnesota. They got Tua back for Pittsburgh, and it's been uphill since then.
I mean, they did not play a great game against Pittsburgh, but
No, they really didn't.
yeah, you're right. And that makes sense that they lost 3 straight games because Tua sat out for 3 straight games, or 2.5. But yeah,
But I don't. They're a solid team. Jalen Watt, Tyreek Hill, been cooking it up this year. 1 and 4 in the receiving yards. Hill leads it. Jefferson, Diggs, then it's Waddle. But yeah, a solid team. Tua has been doing really good. But I think we should go on to the next one. Talk about the other AFC opponent, which is the 6-3
same division.
same division. At number 5, we got the 6-3 Buffalo Bills. I
You're
mean,
gonna see this team jumping all over the place on the power rankings this year. It
it's
to me, it literally comes down to how Josh Allen performs in games. Like the dude's already admitted in some games he's performed like shit,
he
and
yeah, he takes all the blame for everything. Like that man is just
sometimes I don't really know if that's a really good mentality to have. Like it's a good thing to like know
take
you're
ownership.
responsible for something. Yeah, take ownership for something that's happening. But the dude takes ownership for every single thing. even when the game's not really in his control.
Mm-mm.
But you're gonna see this team jump all over the place in the power rankings. As you see in week 10, they were number 3. And then after losing to the Vikings, who are is it 2 spots ahead of them, they dropped 2 spots. So they just flip flop in their positions there too. So it's it's gonna be interesting to see where this team plays out here, but I expect the way with the rest of their schedule is going to be. I don't even think it's a cakewalk for them. I think the Bills actually have one of the
You
more
still
difficult
have to go.
schedules.
You still have to go through the Jets, the
And
Dolphins, and the Patriots. Still,
and do
the only division of football that has all winning records.
that's crazy to think about. Out of all the divisions in the league, I would have expected it to be like the AFC West to have all winning records, but Um, did you hear about the weather that this game is gonna be?
6 feet of snow, 30 miles per hour winds. Shit's
Yes.
oh my gosh! And last time they
Ooh,
had that weather in Buffalo, Jacoby Brissett was the quarterback for the Colts.
for for the Colts. Yup.
So can't get away from snow
Jacoby
games from him.
Brissett homecoming game.
That's gonna be a low scoring game. I feel like
I cannot wait to watch that football
that's
game.
gonna be a
Like,
fun
dude,
snowball.
any game in like the worst weather possible is like the most fun game to watch. Sorry for the fans who go to the game because they probably have to deal with a way worse experience. But for the folks on TV, and you got your hot cocoa and your food and I guess whatever else it is you bring with you when you're watching football games on TV, you're gonna be nice and cozy while you're watching all the 6 feet of snow just fall on this football field.
That shit's gonna be insane. But otherwise, going back to that, the Bills. I mean, like you said, Josh Allen takes a lot of ownership, but we don't know if that's the right mentality. I feel like somewhat it is because he's realizing what he's doing wrong, but I feel like he's taking too much of it. He's not giving. I think he should be like pointing out like, hey, like this is what this they should have done, or like they gotta like study a little bit more, like kind of like putting like responsibility on your teammates.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, Josh Allen, he seems like a very cool guy, very chill guy to be with. I mean, he has literally lifted this city together to, I mean, absolute pandemonium, pretty much, of craziness and just a great sports culture down there in Buffalo, New York. Who was their last like decent quarterback? It
I think it was
Jimmy G?
Fitzmagic.
I mean yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick, he did quite a bit there for them, but he was only there for like a short stint of time. Like the last long-term great quarterback had to have been Jim Kelly.
I think so, yeah. Other than that, they've been going back and forth, back and forth.
And now it's Josh Allen. He put this city together.
Oh,
Like
for sure.
hats off to him, but I think he just takes ownership for way too many things when it's not even his problem half of the time.
No. But yeah, that's number 5, 6-3 Bills. Going on to number 6, we have the 6-3 Baltimore Ravens. I mean, I think they were on bye this week, so we didn't get to see them play. I mean, they're 6-3. Their losses came against New York, the Giants, Miami, and what's the other one? I think they lost right away in week 1.
Yeah, the Ravens lost to um
I'm going back and forth.
you said the Giants,
I
right?
said the Giants, the Dolphins, and the
And the
Bills.
Bills.
That's right, because they were leading 20-0 at one point, and then they just laid an egg, literally. But yeah, they're coming off their bye week. I mean, Lamar's Lamar. Um, Mark Andrews has been having struggles with his injury, so can't really rely on him. There's not much I really have to say about the Ravens. Besides that,
Yeah,
they're 6-3. I mean, who do they beat? They beat the Jets, the
they have not
Patriots,
really beat great teams, to be honest.
Cincinnati, Cleveland Browns, and a struggling Tampa and New Orleans teams.
The Ravens haven't really had like that type of signature win. They could have had it against either the Dolphins or the Bills. I mean, they did beat the Jets, but I
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
when
know
the
if it,
Jets were like, they weren't
I
starting
don't
super hot though.
weren't the Jets undefeated though? Or
I don't know because that was week one. They played them week one.
yeah, that was so the Jets only lost that one game and then they won for like 5 straight weeks.
Yeah,
So I guess yeah, you can argue that they weren't like completely ready. And it was in New York too.
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, this team hasn't really had like its standout win yet. Their schedule, to be honest with you, it's pretty easy the rest of the way. Um,
Yeah,
the only
Cleveland. No, sorry. Oh my God, Gabe, shut the fuck up.
hey,
Carolina, Jacksonville, Denver, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, then Cincinnati. Pretty.
I could see,
I can see them
I,
losing to Cincinnati and possibly
Cleveland.
Jacksonville.
I could see them losing to Cincinnati in the last week, and then possibly Cleveland.
Yeah, other
Uh,
than that, they have a cakewalk. The
yep.
Panthers are struggling. Okay, hold on. Let's hold on. So Ravens, Panthers don't have a record. Jaguars don't. Broncos don't. Steelers don't. Browns don't. Falcons, I think they're 500.
Falcons are at 500 now.
Okay, so they're at 500. Steelers aren't, and Cincy is the only above 500 team left. Hold on. Gabe, shut the fuck up.
And that right there, my friend, is why I got like my own bedroom and set up. I'm like
Oh,
in a
I have my
corner
own. I have my
away from
own.
everything.
I have my own bedroom. Just that he plays Madden all the damn time. He's just like he freaks out about every little thing.
Madden is such a bad game in my opinion. We could talk about that another day though, because I could talk a lot about it.
Oh yeah, I could too.
Yeah, so we were talking about the Baltimore Ravens and their cakewalk schedule. This team is probably going to end up winning the rest of their games throughout the season. I could see them losing to the Bengals, but literally anybody else, maybe the Browns in Cleveland, but um, I don't see this team choking like they did so badly last year, where they had to just win one game with like 5 or 6 games left of the season, and then they just lost all of them to miss the playoffs. So, I mean, where the Baltimore Ravens are ranked, I would say it's a pretty good spot, and you're gonna see this team keep going up in the rankings for absolutely no reason because their schedule is nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
So then next up on ESPN's top 10 is the New York Giants, who are 7-2. Last week they were ranked number 11. So these guys, they finally made it into the top 10. Matt, your thoughts?
The Giants, they should be definitely be higher. They beat the Ravens. I mean, there's nothing there, so I don't see why they are below the Ravens. But it's just they've been playing good football. I mean, yes, Saquon has been carrying the team, but it's been the Saquon Barkley show. I mean, you don't really have any receivers you don't really have any receivers there, but you do have Saquon. He really does carry the football team. I mean, defense is all right. Can't really say much about that. Maybe above average, maybe top 12, 10 defense. But yeah, they're too low for me. They should be ranked higher than 7. I think they should be at least a top 5 team.
Wow.
I mean, you put
That
them. I
I
mean,
can see that. I can totally see that. This team, they are pretty complete, and I would say that they're only missing a wide receiver position. They don't really have like that number one guy. Like they don't have a player who's like a Justin Jefferson, DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, Cooper Cup. They don't have that type of guy. I think if
no.
the Giants end up getting a guy like that, Giants getting OBJ, maybe.
Yeah, he is talking about going back. Either him sailing with Dallas or New York. I would love to see him go back to New York because New York will be a huge threat.
My
Because you
goodness.
gotta remember OBJ and Saquon played with each other. It was
They
Saquon's
must
rookie.
have played
It
with each other
was
for like a year.
it
Because
was
like neither
Saquon's
of them
rookie
could be
year.
healthy.
It was Saquon's rookie year. I think the
Eh,
following year, that's when he
yeah.
started jumping teams. He went to Cleveland.
Like as much as it upsets me to hear that OBJ isn't saying anything about the Packers anymore, and it's just because of their position right now.
Yeah,
Um, it it sucks for me, but like I want to see this guy go back to the Giants. If he goes back to the Giants, this team is going to be absolutely dangerous, and I kind of want to see if Danny Dimes has that connection with Odell.
that should really be interesting. But I don't know.
Like
Yeah,
hats off to the Giants and their organization to trust in Daniel Jones when literally everybody shitted on this guy when he got drafted.
I
Like
mean,
everybody did.
he
Because
came from Duke's, which is
uh, a
a
not football
basketball
school.
school. But yeah, you have anything else about the Giants, or then we will move on.
I do not have anything about the Giants. This next team though, I freaking hate that they're in this.
Ah, yes, the 5-4 49ers at number 8. I mean, they beat the banged up Chargers team, who was basically a non-threat, and they only put up 19 points. Not an impressive win in my book.
Dude, why the freaking frick is this team in the top 10?
Because they have
Why?
Christian McCaffrey and Debo Samuel.
Did you see how Christian McCaffrey played last week? He
He didn't
played
do
like
good.
nothing.
Pardon me. He 22-16. Not what I said.
Why does ESPN have so much freaking faith in this team? I don't understand.
I don't know. So they started. So they went 0-1. Then they beat Seattle. They lost to Denver, 10 to
Oh,
11. Uh, they beat the Rams. They beat the Panthers. They lost to Atlanta. They lost to the Chiefs in a massacre. Then they beat the Rams. Then they just beat the Chargers. Now they played the Cardinals. Then they play the Saints. Dolphins are going to lose. Bucks are going to lose. Seahawks, I think they're going to come back and win. Commanders and Niners, that's going to be a toss-up. They're going to beat the Raiders. And Cardinals at Niners, that's going to be a toss-up as well.
I hope this team gets obliterated on Monday. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
George Kittle is becoming more of a blocking threat than a receiving threat
yeah,
now.
Kittle's barely done anything this year for the team. Debo Samuel hasn't even really put up fantastic numbers compared to last year.
Now,
Jimmy Garoppolo is a freaking average or below average quarterback. I don't understand why they
no,
still.
no, 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 no. He's an average Joe. He's an average Jimmy.
I just don't understand why ESPN is sticking with this team. Last week they were ranked number 10. and they just moved up 2 spots.
Well, you gotta think who was in front of them. They're at 12.
We know new car inventory
Oh
levels
gosh,
are
no, no,
down
no, no,
across
no,
the
no, no,
country,
no, no, no,
but
no,
our
no,
used
no,
car
no, 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 no,
inventory
no, no,
hasn't
no,
been
no,
the
no. Fucking ESPN.
What happened?
I was looking at the power rankings and it started playing the ads, so the viewers are gonna hear some type of ad in the video.
I didn't hear any ad.
Oh well,
I could hear you say "shut the fuck up" to Gabe though, or whatever his name was. I think it was Gabe.
yeah, Gabe.
Yeah, yeah. So the viewers are gonna hear that one.
I mean,
Um,
the Niners are the Niners. I don't have much respect for them.
Neither do I. Yeah.
But I think moving on because there's not much to say besides they beat up a banged up Chargers team. Number 9, the Dallas Cowboys sitting at 6-3.
They dropped 5 spots from last week.
I mean, when you
So,
lose to the 22 ranked Packers, that's you're gonna drop a couple. I mean,
and
Dak.
obviously Dak Prescott made a lot of errors in that game, like especially the red zone pick, and I guess the other one was another red zone pick. So like he threw 2 of them, and the Packers scored 2 touchdowns off those turnovers.
Yeah,
And I guess you can go ahead.
Mike McCarthy finally found a way for the Packers to win the game. You know he was the opposing coach. 4th and 4. You have Mayer.
Oh yeah, we did not discuss this last time.
Oh
We
yeah,
said
so we'll
I
discuss
remember.
this right now. Actually, since we're
Yeah,
on the Cowboys, um, you have I don't know what his first name is, but you have Mayer or
I think it's
Mar, Brett Mayer, whatever the fuck you call his name, who actually has a hell of a leg from what I've been seen and told. And you don't trust them. You go for fourth and 4. The Packers go down the
I
field
think it
and
was
they win the
fourth and
game.
three. Fourth and three, I
Fourth and three,
believe.
4th and 3. It was a long 3, we'll say. But they go down the field and then they win the game. I mean, that's just poor play calling. You take the 3, you kick it off, you try to force Rodgers to make a mistake, and then you win the game. Should be a 7-2 team, but stupid mistakes will cost you games.
Yes, you could most definitely say that. On that 4th down play, when Dak Prescott escaped out of the pocket, and I can't remember who it was chasing him down and was about to tackle him for the Packers. But when Dak let go of that ball and Tony Pollard was there on like the sideline to kind of have the attempt of catching it, I
Was
was
that
scared
Pollard?
as hell that he was gonna catch it. Yeah,
Oh, I thought it was their
that
tight
that was
end.
that was Tony Pollard that was there, and I was so scared he was gonna catch that ball, and then the Packers cornerback, whoever it was who was covering him, was gonna miss the tackle, and then the Cowboys would have scored a touchdown. But that's kind of like the inner I'm scared that the worst is gonna happen
Yeah.
to like my favorite team mentality kind of pops out. But I mean, it's such a tough play call. You would think in Green Bay, kicking, it would have been like a 47-yard field goal,
Yeah.
something like that. I mean, it's debatable because if the kicker ends up missing, then it's like the Cowboys fans are gonna be like, "Oh, you should have went for it. Like, what are
Hey,
we doing?" But I mean, since they didn't get it, obviously there's gonna be the people saying, "Oh, they should have kicked the ball to try to screw Rodgers over and just put a bunch of pressure on him." But um, it's one of those play calls that can literally go either way, in my opinion.
yeah, it
And
really
that's the
is.
non-biased of me coming out here. So
Yeah, I felt like that would have been a lose-lose situation no matter what.
the Cowboys did make too many mistakes in the game. They were up by 14 going into the 4th quarter. They literally had the game, and I don't know how my team did it, dude.
I don't know either, but the fact that the Cowboys screwed up and they dropped down to the 9th spot. I mean, shit, I would put them maybe a little lower, maybe just outside the top 10 at 11 or 12. But
They're on the fence. Yeah.
yeah, I guess going that will round off the top 10 with the 6-3 Jets. They had a bye as well, I do believe.
Jets, Jets.
But
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing good football. I mean, they're above average team. You don't. I mean, you got shit. I don't know who they have
This
for
is the
receivers.
surprise team of the year, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely the surprise team of the year. So yeah, 6-3. I think I didn't expect them. I think no one expected them to do this good. I mean, they've been on a roll. What can I say?
This is a very young football team. So pretty much it's all going to be looking up for them from here on out. The question is, if this team makes the playoffs or when they make the playoffs, how are they going to respond to that different environment that's like win or go home type of situation with just being such a young team? Because you have a second year quarterback on the helm, you have young wide receivers with you, and I'm trying to think of the rookie wide receiver on the team for the Jets, but he has been outstanding for their team. What's his name?
Garrett Wilson?
Garrett Wilson. I knew it started with a G. I was gonna say George for some reason. I think it's because I've been watching some Seinfeld. So shout out to George Costanza and people who watch Seinfeld. You're pretty awesome. Yeah, Garrett Wilson. He's a pretty good talent, up and coming. I will say that, and I think the Jets, they could honestly be a little higher than where they're at. They're
Oh yeah,
a
for sure.
football team. Their defense, Sauce Gardner, what a great cornerback. A lot of people have been saying like, oh, he's not even facing that good of route runners or whatever.
Bro, this man locked up. I have their schedule right here. This man has locked up Jamar Chase. I think
Insane. Jamar
yes,
Chase
Jamar
is
Chase.
top 10.
Chase. I wouldn't say Chase Claypool. Tyreek Hill
Tyreek Hill is top 10.
and Stephon Diggs.
Top 10.
I mean, you can't say that this man's shit, and he's been going up against number one receivers, been putting up the numbers that he's been putting up this year. I mean, there's nothing. I don't know what you want to say about that. They deserve that.
And I guess if you look at the upcoming schedule for this team too,
It's a tough schedule. You go against the Patriots.
Yeah.
You're Patriots at home. Then you're home against the Bears. Then you go to Minnesota. And then the next week you got to play at Buffalo, revenge game. You're home against the Lions. You're home against the Jags. You travel to Seattle, and then you end off the year by traveling to Miami.
Dude, their away schedule is the hardest. It's so freaking difficult. You have to play in the freaking skull environment of Minnesota, and then just the crazy pandemonium in Buffalo, and then the 12th man in Seattle. That is
It's just going to be crazy.
3 of the toughest road tests you will ever experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot wait to go to those stadiums, by the way. I don't know when I'm going to be going to those places, but I'm super excited to just see the atmosphere.
That's going to be so fun.
There. Yes.
No, but I guess that's going to round up the top 10 for the good Lord. The
ESPN Power Rankings.
ESPN Power
for week
Rankings.
11.
I'm scrolling through here looking at major ones. Obviously, the Packers, they go up 8 spots, moving from 24 to 18.
8 spots. That's a pretty big jump.
That's a big ass jump. Colts go from 27 to 21.
Big jump as well. But
LA, the Rams fall to 22 from 19 to 22. I mean, nothing else really. I mean, that just kind of
dude,
stays the
the
same.
Denver Broncos are 28. I find that absolutely hilarious. And then it's just so funny that they get shit on by the Seahawks, who are number 12 in these rankings. It's like
Everyone thought they were gonna go 1-17.
it is so freaking funny how that happened.
I know, it's just crazy. But no, there's not much other big news in rankings. I mean, Texans are still at the last spot. So,
Yeah,
like,
most of it's kind of rounded out the same exact way.
mm-hmm. But I guess with that being said, you want to go over our personal top 10?
I would love to. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, you can start it off.
All right.
I guess a
So,
lot of these teams have been in the top 10, so I guess we won't go over there. I guess we'll just have a friendly debate.
yeah, I'm going to start my teams off from 10 to 1. So, I'm not going to go 1 to 10, 10 to 1.
You know, I like that. I like that.
Number 10 on my list, I got the Dallas Cowboys. Um, as we talked about them already, they already dropped like quite a few spots in the rankings because of their loss to Green Bay. And people can talk all they want, say Mike McCarthy did everything he could to help the Packers win because he wants Rodgers to be successful, whatever. Um, Overall, though, I think this team, they are definitely deserving of a top 10 spot. They play in one of the most difficult divisions in football right now. So yeah, Dallas Cowboys number 10. Then for me, number 9, I got the Tennessee Titans. They've been riding a pretty good winning streak as of late, and they got Green Bay coming up tomorrow. Can't wait for that game. As I told the viewers, I was going to be going to that game. Turns out I'm not going to that football game anymore because I got fake tickets to it. So that is
That fucking
pretty
sucks.
upsetting. And yeah, it's like my birthday weekend, dude. So I was expecting to have a great time. 21st birthday weekend. I mean, it would have been so much
You're
fun.
legal.
Yes, sir. And it sucks that I'm not going to that game. I really wanted to go to that, and it just would have been such a good time. I keep repeating myself. So we're gonna jump to the next spot. Number 8, the New York Jets. I think this team, they're pretty complete. Not really much else to say. Um, Zach Wilson, he's gonna keep improving himself. He has made so many mistakes though as a young quarterback. Like we see this guy try to make Mahomes types of throws, and he's just not to that level yet. Clearly, I can't remember who they played a couple of weeks ago. I think it was I think it was the Patriots, and they lost to them. And he made a bunch of really stupid throws, and I think McCourty got like 2 interceptions that game.
Excuse me.
Bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So that's the reason why I'd have him at number 8. The team's just a little too young for me, and I'm not sure if I'm going to move them up any further. Number 7, at the Baltimore Ravens, led by the Lamar pooped his pants Jackson. This guy, he is a generational talent to say the least. Baltimore Ravens don't really need to run the football with a running back. They can literally just run draw plays with Lamar, and it's kind of overrated. Like you see it happen in Madden all the time. It's kind of why the game is stupid, because there's just so many OP play calls, and it's just not fair. That's my tangent on Madden a little bit. So I got the Ravens at number 7. Number 6, I got the New York Giants. We already talked about this team, how complete they are. And if they add Odell Beckham Jr. to their roster once he gets better and healthy, I think this team is going to be very dangerous. And I have a feeling that the Giants may win the NFC East, which is a pretty big statement right now because the other team in the NFC East that I haven't mentioned yet, not the Commanders, um, I haven't said yet, and they're further up on my list. So going into number 5, I got the Miami Dolphins. This one was a very tricky spot for me because I was debating between whether I should move the Dolphins ahead of the Bills and the Eagles into the number 3 spot. So
Not that high.
um the reason I was thinking that though is because every single game they have played with Tua, they have won. So basically, they just need to keep Tua healthy and their receiving core healthy. And I mean, their defense too. They've been a standout defense all year, making some quality stops. The only game where their defense kind of like didn't play well was in Chicago, but they still survived that game. And Justin Fields, he's an up and coming, pretty darn good quarterback too. So it was just something that they just weren't used to, and they couldn't handle the speed of him. But it's kind of funny that they can't handle the speed because they literally have the speed on their team.
I know,
Um,
right?
Number 4, I got the Buffalo Bills. Um, the reason I put them at number 4 is just because of how much talent they have on their team. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Dawson Knox. I mean, I think they're going to get better in their running back game as well. So the halfbacks in Singletary, and I can't think of the other guy. I think it's
James
Zach
Cook.
Moss.
He
Cook.
that
Cook. Yes.
Moss is gone.
It was Cook. Yes. I don't know why I said Moss. It was because he played for them before.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, Cook too. I think this team is definitely going to improve in the running game. And if they can balance out their running game and passing game, dude, this team is going to become a freaking threat. And since I have them in the top 4, that most definitely means I have them playing in the AFC Championship game. Yeah, so that's my statement about my number 4 team. At number 3, we got the 8-1 Philadelphia Eagles. It's just because they lost this past week to the Commanders. They looked like they were going out to a great start and they were going to dominate. And then all of a sudden, things just fell apart on them really quick. Taylor Heineke played
Himothy.
I'm not going to call him yet because calling him is like the last stand type of thing. So it's not like he got this team into the playoffs or whatever. But who knows? Maybe they're going to do that. But here's the problem. Carson Wentz is going to become the starter again.
I will say this: there actually is a discussion whether they are not going to start Wentz over Heineke.
Good. Carson Wentz fucking sucks.
He does. He does.
Yeah. So about the Philadelphia Eagles, I mean, Jalen Hurts, he's good. I wouldn't call him like a great quarterback yet. He's good. He has a great receiving core, in my opinion. Like Devonta Smith is such a good route runner. He's a young player. But AJ Brown, dude, this guy's a top 10 receiver in the league, hands down. He's just got such a big body to be able to catch the football. Like he kind of reminds me of Megatron a little bit, just not as good as him though. So then at number 2, I have your Minnesota Vikings. They've just won in great fashions, and they're a fun team to watch. The fact that they played in the game of the year at Buffalo and won is quite a statement because it's definitely tough to win in environments like that. And the Vikings also have a great home stadium. I feel like their crowd is also tough to play in, and with their upcoming schedule, they're going to be winning quite a few football games. So I'm always going to keep them ahead of all the other NFC foes for now, just because of what Justin Jefferson has done for his team, and Kirk Cousins just don't have him playing prime time. I get.
Yeah, basically.
Um, right now it's looking like my NFC championship is lining up to be the Vikings and Eagles. I don't want it to. I'm hoping the Giants can pop ahead of the
Well, I
Eagles.
hope the Eagles go one and out, one and done.
There's just something about the Philadelphia team I don't have as much confidence in, and I think that's why I dropped them 2 spots from 1 to 3.
Yeah.
So then obviously we're to my number 1 spot. I have the Kansas City Chiefs. Um, Patrick Mahomes. I'm always gonna put my trust and faith in this guy because he can literally do it all now. I don't know if you saw the game when they played the Titans, but he was doing it with his legs. And once he starts going off with his legs on a football field, I mean, good luck stopping this guy because I mean, with the frame that this guy has, he does not want to back down. He's got a little bit of Josh Allen in him. He's not as big, but he can still run it, as we have clearly seen. Um, if this team can stay away from the injury bug, so hopefully, Juju and Marquez, they get better from their injuries that they dealt with. But I think Kadarius Toney was a great pickup for this team. He also has speed. He's a young talent for the team. I think he's going to do big things. McCole Hardman, he's also has speed on this team. And I'm just curious what happened with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, because they were talking this guy like he was going to be such a great running back. So if there was only one thing this team was missing, it's a running back position. I think Spagnuolo as the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, he knows how to put the blitz on teams. And I think there's a lot of offenses that don't know how to handle the blitz. All you got to do is run a short play. They don't do it. They try to go for the long ball, go for the home run, and they fail. Chiefs offense is just dominant in so many occurrences. That's why I have them at number 1. So that is my top 10.
All right. I
I'm going to
mean,
have to drink of water now because that was a lot of talking.
I agree with you with some of those. But starting off at my number 10, I know I hate them very much, but I have the San Francisco 49ers.
Hell no. Get that out of here.
I will say this, the Cowboys aren't in my top 10. I would probably put, as I said earlier, Cowboys would probably be in the 12th or 11th spot due to the fact that they lost to a very struggling Green Bay team that just found their step and just went off. The Niners are a more complete team. I mean, you have an average quarterback. You have Christian McCaffrey, one of the best in the league. You have Debo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, who is a good wide receiver duo. I mean, yeah, their schedule is going to be a little tough. They haven't beat great teams, but they're just there. They're rounding off. That's why I put them at 10, nothing higher. I would probably.
Do you think they're going to do anything else then? Like go up in the rankings?
I don't know.
Or do you
We'll
think
have
they're
to
just gonna
see.
stay?
We'll have to see. They'll probably stick around the bottom of the rankings. For sure, I think 7 and below, nothing higher.
I'm surprised you have them in your top 10. As much as we shit on them about
Yeah, I know.
pretty much their entire team.
I mean, yeah. But at number 9, I have the Ravens. I mean, they're coming off a bye. I don't really pay attention to them much. But I don't know. I just can't put a 6-3 team above some of these other teams. A lot of these teams that they're above that they've actually lost to. I mean, Lamar is Lamar. He's basically a running back. They've blown so many 20-point leads. It's just ridiculous. That's not something that should be highly praised about. In all their 3 games against Miami, Buffalo. Shit, what was the other one that we said?
Um,
Fuck.
keep talking. I'll research.
I'm sorry, I'm finding it as
Giants.
well. The what? The Giants.
The
Ah,
Giants.
yes. They blew leads in all three of those games. That's not something you should be proud of, nor you should be highly praised on as a number 6 team in the league, or in your case, the 7th team. But I think a deserving ninth seed for them will be very fitting for them with how they played this year. Number 8, I got the Tennessee Titans. Titans are, oh gosh, the NFL don't even have them in the, not NFL, ESPN doesn't even have them in the top 10. But Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry. Ryan Tannehill's back, so you're going to have him throwing down to Malik Willis, he's been an average rookie receiver. No, fuck.
Malik
No,
Willis.
Malik Willis. I'm thinking of Tyler
Quarterback.
Burke. Tyler Burke. Excuse me. Tyler Burke.
Gotcha.
Tyler Burke. He's an average wide receiver for a rookie. Not the best, but not the worst. He's just kind of there. Obviously, lost AJ Brown.
Yeah, they don't really have a wide receiver
They
on their
don't,
team,
but
really.
everything's so run heavy with Henry. You can always rely on him. He's that good through down back.
That's why they call him King Henry.
Yeah, but he's been struggling a little bit this year. But definitely, I think they are better than the Ravens and Niners. But I think an 8th spot for them is rewarding for them due to the fact that the Ravens have blown so many leads, have been double digits, and the Niners have just having a super soft schedule. They're playing banged up teams. But at number 7, I have the New York Jets. They've been playing stellar football. Zach Wilson's been improving. Definitely, there's been some games where he's definitely looked like the old Zach Wilson,
Seeing ghosts on the field.
That's Sam Darnold. Anyways,
Zach Wilson can see ghosts on the field.
Sauce Gardner, if not one of the best, if not the best, corner in the NFL, definitely has my vote for Defensive Rookie of the Year, possibly Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, they beat the Bills. That's a huge one I can think of. That's why they're so ranked up high. They're tied with the Bills in the AFC East, and at 6-3. I mean, you had such a good run game going with Breece Hall, set those play action passes. It's just, fortunately, Breece Hall isn't there anymore. So maybe if Breece Hall was there, maybe I would put them up a little higher, but not too much higher.
It sucks to see him.
Yeah, he was
down like that.
having such a good season.
He was playing stellar football.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my 7th pick. And at 6, I think this one will get you upset. I have the Bills.
Wow.
I have the
at number
Bills at
6.
6. I say this because they lost.
ESPN had them at 5.
Yeah. And you have them at 4. I'd say they're at 6 because the main reason you blew a 17-point lead in the second half against the Vikings. Terrible play calling against the Dolphins. And then you didn't play very good football against the Jets, which I think carried into Minnesota's game. So I wonder if there's going to be a snowball effect that's going to keep on getting worse and worse. You start off losing to the Jets.
Snowball. Because it's going to snow 6 feet.
Well, yeah, an actual snowball next week against Cleveland. But it's just going to keep on building up. I just feel like it's going to keep on building up. So, all right, we lost to the Jets. That's a little one. And then they lost to the game of the year against the Vikings. And that really got it big after blowing a 17-point lead. But you still got to remember, this is the Buffalo Bills we're talking about. You still got Josh Allen, which, in my opinion, you should rest him now. This is your franchise quarterback. Don't worry about the next 2 weeks. You lose 2 games, you lose 2 games. I mean, you'll still be in the playoffs, but it just might be a little tougher.
Dude, I don't know. That'd be a really big coaching decision because the AFC East is the only winning division in the league, and if you go on to lose 2 straight, You're gonna have
Ah,
teams.
shit, yeah, you're gonna be like in the fourth place if everyone else wins out.
Yes,
But that's just how tough. That just shows how tough this division is.
and I love it. I love that this division is
Super
like,
competitive.
yes,
Yeah,
the
but
number 6 spot though. Wow.
6, yeah, Buffalo. I mean, kind of dropped the ball against Minnesota, but I mean, Singletary had a fumble. Allen threw 2 picks. One was on a crucial fourth down, 4th and 2 play. So you could question whether if they should have kicked a field goal or not. That guy kept Minnesota in the game, and then obviously the game-ending interception he threw. But obviously, you have Singletary, you have James Cook, you have Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, all those power weapons. So, but yeah, that's gonna be the top four. And now number 5, I have the New York Giants. People are gonna call me fucking crazy for placing the Giants over the Bills, but they're the better New York football team right now.
Actually, the Giants are in New Jersey.
What the fuck? Now, why the fuck are they called New York Giants?
They actually play in New Jersey. They play in the Meadowlands, right?
They play in no.
Meadowlands is just outside of New York. It's in New
Oh
Jersey.
my god.
Yeah,
You
can you
couldn't build
believe
the
that?
city. You couldn't build the stadium 2 blocks over so they can have accurate team names. Fucking a.
Yeah, you should look at the map right now.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. MetLife Stadium.
The way that I found this out was when I was working on my interesting map project right now that I'm doing for my special trip with one of my best friends. Um, I guess I can talk more about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up real quick.
Yeah, I'll talk more about that as you're looking that up. So, one of my best friends and I, it's on our bucket list to go to every single NFL team stadium and watch a football game that is there. This idea came to us last year.
Jimmy, it's just right across the river. Are you fucking shitting me? You couldn't built it 2 miles to the east in fucking Manhattan? Look at all that space.
Which means that the New York Jets are actually in New Jersey.
Oh my gosh, it's the New Jersey Giants and New Jersey Jets.
I'm wondering though if like before those stadium or that stadium was built because they share it, if they actually played in stadiums that were originally in New York. To me, that would make more sense.
Yeah, they
Uh,
might have, but anyways, you want
yeah,
to talk about your project?
yeah. Sorry for triggering you there now. But yeah, for it's so my friend and I, we have this bucket list of ideas where we want to, or where one of them is we go to every single NFL team stadium and watch a football game that is played there. We have already gone to Cincinnati to watch the Bengals play the Steelers in week 1. And we've had this bucket list idea planned for probably close to the last year already. So we're not sure where we're gonna go to next. We've had thoughts about going out to Buffalo to watch a Bills game, but
Oh, you
that's
can get worshipped by the Bills fans.
and yes, another thing about what we're doing is we're buying jerseys for each team that we go to watch. But since we're both Green Bay Packer fans, we have cheese heads. So we're gonna be wearing these cheese heads on our heads throughout the entire game with another team's jersey on. And I know you pointed this out before. We were actually on national television. It was kind of tough to see us, but since we're wearing cheese heads, you're going to be able to spot us. So that was kind of part of the idea of what we were doing. So now that we're doing that, Green Bay is probably going to be our last location to mark off on the list because since it's our home, we're gonna mark our home for last. So we're hoping that at some point in that time, it's probably gonna take like 20 years or so, that we go to a Super Bowl game It's always been my dream to go watch a Super Bowl in person. And then another part of that is the project that I'm working on too, where I'm putting this big canvas of a map together, and I'm gonna put pictures of every single time where we go to that stadium in that section of the United States map. So for the Bengals game, I'm gonna take a few pictures that we have taken and put them right on in the southern half of Ohio area. So it's gonna be a really cool project. I'm really looking forward to it. Shout out to Ben. Ben, if you're
Yes, one of our best friends.
Yes. Ben, if you are listening to this right now, I'm excited for what the rest of this bucket list opportunity has throughout the way. And here's to like the next 20 years of traveling across America.
And I'm fucking jealous of you guys. That sounds like a best thing. Anyways,
Yeah,
back to my power rankings. I have the Giants at 5 after going on tangent about how they play in fucking New Jersey now. But
hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
yeah, anyways, Saquon's been holding up the offense, not much going. Defense has been playing good. 7-2, you can't disrespect the record. But yeah, that's my opinion after kind of got off the tangent. But number 4, I got the Miami Dolphins. They beat the Bills, so there's. God damn it! Yeah, they're on there. Yeah.
Is that the reason you put them ahead of the Bills? Because they beat them?
Not only that, Tua has been doing super well this year. They went out and got Tyreek with Waddle. I mean, we sound like broken records. You guys know this, but they're the 2 fastest players in the league. I mean, they're 7-3. I mean, Tua's finished all the games that he started and finished. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to do. But yeah, it's like he's been playing good football. You can't disrespect that. But
Yeah, the Dolphins haven't really made an error, to be honest.
except that Tua got his brain scrambled against Cincinnati.
Yeah, the coaching in the NFL made an error on that. I'll agree, but
But other than that, they've been playing really clean football. Obviously, the 3 games that they lost came when Tua wasn't playing that didn't finish. So there's your 3 losses. If you have Tua starting, it's completely different games.
who did they even have in at quarterback
Uh,
throughout
they
those?
had Teddy Bridgewater and some
I
random guy. It was like
I know
some
they
like
had
5th
another
round. They had
guy.
like a 5th rounder. It was like a 5th round pick, and he went in and he got hurt. So then Teddy Bridgewater finished the Vikings game. But yeah, number 4, the Dolphins. Obviously, nothing. Everything's going well in there. Respectable 4, I think. Yeah, that 4 ESPN's. But number 3, almost the same.
We're in
All
agreement.
agreement. The Philadelphia Eagles, because they lost. They lost to the Commanders. Since they have lost to the Commanders, it really shows that. Oh wait, now
But I
teams
thought Taylor Heineke was him.
Himothy.
Oh my God.
No. He's not the real Himothy. I know who the real Himothy is. But I mean, yeah, they've been playing good defense. I mean, not good defense, stellar defense, good offense. Jalen Hurts is looking like an MVP candidate. But we will go over one of his major losses in the injuries in this next section. But yeah, Eagles deserve a 3 spot after losing to the Commanders. It might have been at 2 if it would have been against a stellar team, but it was the Commanders who are now at 500. So on to number 2. Obviously, I'm going to be biased about this, but Kansas City Chiefs. So yeah, I guess you guys could probably know who number 1 is, but Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes. You build a team around him. Travis Kelce's best not wide receiver, tight end in the league right now. Defense is good.
That's hilarious because not once did I mention Travis Kelce.
Yeah, Travis
That's not about the
Kelce.
Chiefs last night.
Travis Kelce is fucking Travis Kelce. I don't know how you forget about him.
I don't know how either. I don't think it's that I forgot about him. I think it's just they're a well-rounded team,
Yeah, they're
and
super well rounded with
I really need to
superstars.
talk about him.
They're well rounded with superstars. I know what else you want me to say. They got Kadarius Toney. I don't know, Marquez, Scantley, Juju. They're a good receiving trio. But it's the Chiefs. They'll find a way to win with Andy Reid. It's, yeah. They're sitting at
Just give
7
them
and
a
2.
few cheeseburgers and
Oh, I
they'll be
was I
winning.
was holding that joke back, but okay. But number one, we have my Minnesota Vikings.
Bias.
Shut up. Justin Jefferson is Himothy. He is Himothy all the way. Best receiver in the league, hands down. But you beat a potential Super Bowl winning caliber team. You go into their place, you win. You're down 17. You come back, you win in overtime. You have a veteran at cornerback who's teaching these young guys what to do. Your linebackers are stellar. Your defensive front could use some more work, but they're still pretty damn good with Daniil Hunter. And obviously Dalvin Tomlinson, he didn't play. Linebackers, Eric Kendricks, Jordan Hicks is a Darius Smith. Corners, Cam Dantzler, Patrick Peterson. Yeah, I guess those are two I really know. But then you have safeties, Harrison Smith, and then Justin Sine, who is now out with an ACL injury suffered by the Saints in Week 6. But honestly, our offense is where it's about. Kevin O'Connell making the play calls, making it fucking work. Obviously, thank fucking God. But moving Jefferson around, putting him in different formations, getting him involved early so that we can get that spark. And Cousins has been having the best year, but I think he's been doing pretty damn good, I would say. Thielen, Osborne, Cook, Jefferson, Hawkinson now. Pretty damn good. The line's been improving over the past weeks, which is what we like to see. Which is why, honestly, I'm a little bit biased, but not really. Vikings deserve the number one in the power rankings.
I might as well should have just threw the Green Bay Packers at number one.
Oh, yeah, no. The Packers fucking suck. The Vikings are fucking good. There's a difference.
You seriously think the Minnesota Vikings would beat the Kansas City Chiefs?
I think so too, because I think even though they might come back, I think their defense would do pretty good. I think all you gotta do is take away Travis Kelce. That eliminates 75% of your plays right there. They don't have a stellar running back, so you don't really worry about the run game. And then you just gotta keep your corners locked on, and that's all you really gotta do.
See, you make it sound easy.
It's not easy. I know. It's not easy. Teams are just like, oh, we'll cover Justin Jefferson. Well, look what the fucking Bills happened. They have one of the best defenses in the league, and look what happened.
Exactly.
Just ran all over them.
I just can't see the Vikings beating the Chiefs. I can't.
Well, I can't remember who asked you. I'm sorry.
I can't believe you actually. Wow. But, dude, for the power rankings, for me, it goes on, what team would be this team. So, the number one team would be any of those teams.
Well, then you're saying that if that's happened, the Bills beat the Chiefs and the Vikings beat the Bills. So
I know that's happened, but
wouldn't that mean the Vikings are better than the Chiefs?
No, I'm saying in the current moment right now. So, it doesn't have to be based off of the past games. But, I mean, to your logic, which is a really, really dumb logic, because I saw this. Dude, I literally saw this meme saying something about, the Jaguars beat this one team.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. The Texans beat this team, and the Commanders beat this team. Therefore, Philly's the worst team.
Therefore, the Eagles are the worst team.
Yeah, but that's just for the fucking meme. That's just, taking it way too far. But this is, a fair thing, though. Because you have three high-caliber teams.
Don't get me wrong. They are high caliber. I think the Chiefs, though, are just a completed team. Like, they're proving that they do not need Tyreek Hill. And Tyreek Hill is also trying to prove that he doesn't need Patrick Mahomes, which, I mean, clearly the Dolphins are doing that right now. But I think the Chiefs, at where they're standing right now, they could beat the Minnesota Vikings.
I think it'd be a hell of a game. I think it'd be very similar
It
to
would
Buffalo.
it would be a hell of a game.
It'd be very similar to Buffalo, though. That's what I'm seeing it as.
It's just that, like, my main concern is the Vikings have played in so many close games.
It doesn't matter how you win. A win's a win.
A win is a win. And if you look at the Chiefs games that they have played, I'm gonna tell you what they have done.
I know they annihilated the Niners. We've stated that. They lost to the Bills and not
Right.
not in overtime.
They did lose to the Colts. But that was early in the season.
Me. They lost to the Colts.
They did lose to the Colts.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that game was in Indianapolis. That was a pretty wild game, actually.
Well, I think that's when Michael Pittman caught the game-winning touchdown. I think I remember that game now.
I think so. And I think that was Jonathan Taylor's last game he played before this past week. But yes, they annihilated the 49ers. They won a great game against the Titans when the Titans were on a pretty hot streak at the time. So everybody knew that was going to be a dangerous type of game. Although they did lose to the Bills, that was another fantastic game in the season. They scored 41 on the Buccaneers on this defense that people say the Buccaneers is pretty darn good.
That's debatable.
They have played in close games, but they annihilated the Cardinals week 1. Literally all of this is so debatable, but I just think this team is more complete.
Whatever you say, Buckshot.
Dude, you put the Vikings at number 1 because, I mean, yes, they're good, but they're also your favorite team.
And
you can't
good. They're good.
They're good.
They're good.
You know why you put them at number 1. Don't be playing.
Yeah, I kind of did. But anyways, they're 8-1.
Good. At least I kind of proved my point. That's all I was going for. So, with our lists that we have,
pretty similar. We have mostly all the same teams, just in different spots. Eagles we agree upon is 3. Vikings and Chiefs are switched around. You have Bills at 4. I can see why you have them at 4. I have them at 6.
I can see why you put them at 6.
Giants at 5. My 5 is the Giants. Your Dolphins are your 5. I can definitely see that, but I think Dolphins would easily beat the Giants in that matchup. Just because...
I just like the fact that we shit on the 49ers and you put them at 10.
Yeah, because the Cowboys don't deserve to be a top 10
it.
team. That's why.
They play in a good division, though, dude.
You just lost to the 3-6 Packers.
I don't care. The game is at Lambeau Field, and
The Jets played at Lambeau, and they fucking destroyed them by 17.
And you know what? The Jets are higher on the list than the Cowboys in my list.
Well, yeah, I know. But, yep, still.
And the Jets are higher on your list, too, compared to the Cowboys, because you don't even have the Cowboys in the top 10.
No, because the Cowboys fucking suck. This is our year. It's never your year.
It is never their year. I agree.
I will say, healthy Dak, though. Just one mishap game. I think this is going to be his bad game of the year. That was his bad game of the year, so we'll see about...
That was his bad game of the year. Talk about week 1. That was his bad game of the year.
Yeah, but he didn't finish the game.
I don't care. They play like trash.
All right.
They play like trash against a trash team. Kind of story.
Yeah. Bills at 6 because of what happened against Minnesota.
I can see that.
You have the Giants at 6, which I can see as well. Jets at 7, just below the Bills. I was kind of debating about putting them above the Bills, but obviously that would put the Bills a little bit too low on my liking. So
We gave the Jets way more credit than ESPN did. I think
yeah,
ESPN just doesn't have faith in them because they're young.
they're a young team. You have the Ravens at 7. They haven't really stood out to me besides the 3 blown 20-point leads.
They're
That's
like
it.
a good average team.
They're
I don't
yeah,
know how
they're a
to
good
say
average
it.
team. They're a solid team. They're a solid team. They're not
Yes.
spectacular. They're not shitty. They're just a solid team. They have one or two big playmakers, but everyone else is just average.
Max. I think you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. I have the Titans at 8. You have the Jets at 8. Uh,
Pretty close
Pretty
to each
close.
other.
Yeah, basically. I have the Ravens at 9. You have the Titans at 9. Uh, Kind of said them both. And obviously, you have the Cowboys at 10. I have the Niners at 10. Cowboys lost against the Packers. That's why they're not in my top 10. I just think that the Niners just have more options with their players. Even though we give them shit, I have to give her credit. Even though we give them shit, I have to give her credit to do. Um, yeah, but I would definitely not put the Cowboys over the Niners. But yeah, those are our power rankings. ESPN's top 10 and our top 10. Oh, about an hour and a half right now. I guess we'll finish off with major injuries, I guess. Our first major injury, as probably many of you know, Cooper Kupp, placed on IR with high ankle sprain. He's getting surgery, at least out for 4 weeks. So that's huge for the Rams.
That
So
hurts LA really
that
bad.
hurts them a lot. So now you don't know
I,
what you're gonna do.
they've had such a disappointing year.
It's
Um,
not. It's just now it's getting worse with Kupp out. It's just you lose your best.
yeah.
You lose your best player. But it's unfortunate. But going down the list, Dallas Goddard from the Eagles, he is, I think, going to be out for at least 2 weeks. I know there's a face mask call that wasn't called. He ended up hurting his shoulder during that play when he fumbled it. So shoulder injury for him. He's at least going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks, not an IR, but he's still going to be out. Hunter Renfro, he's on IR. Raiders,
Mm,
I can't remember what it is. I think it's his. Is it his knee or is it his head?
I think
Uh,
it's his knee.
is it? I looked. Let me see it real
Um,
quick.
I got Hunter Renfro, the baseball outfielder. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's with
It,
an E.
yep.
Oblique injury. So part of his abs. So he is dealing with a oblique injury. I don't know how you can tear that or do something to your obliques. But he's on IR, at least out for another 3 weeks. Darren Waller, he's out. I think that's his knee. Um, yeah, you're just losing weapons on.
Their team's just getting weak-handed as
Yeah,
well. They're kind of like the Rams. They're just falling apart
yeah.
like
Waller
crazy.
is dealing with a hamstring issue all season, so he's on IR. I believe it's another 3 weeks as well.
Dude, speaking of hamstrings, I went to the gym the other day to do leg workouts and I went a little too hard and I woke up this morning. I could barely walk. Like I was walking like I crapped my pants because my hamstrings were hurting that bad.
Oh
It was
shit.
honestly like the worst feeling in the world. Not
Mm-hmm.
gonna lie.
Yeah. So Shaquille Leonard from the Indianapolis Colts, he's gonna have his second back surgery in 5 months. So he's out for the
Ouch.
he's out for the year. So that's a huge loss for the Colts.
It's almost like it's time to call it quits if that ends up happening.
Oh, he's 27. I guess that's kind of old. He was drafted in 2018. Stuck with the Colts ever since. So he's kind of just getting off of his. So this is the first year off of his. No. He's still in his rookie contract. So. And then you have Zach Ertz. Honestly, the ending knee injury that was suffered against the Rams, which made me pick up Cole Kmet from the Bears in fantasy football. So we wish all these guys speedy recoveries. Obviously, we don't like seeing injured players. But I guess people coming off of IR is Hollywood Brown. He can play as early as Monday night. And that's the only one that I really saw. That's much if for injuries. There wasn't too many. Just kind of we'll keep you updated with these injuries in our next podcast, which will probably be released next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, as we'll start recording these right after the Monday night games.
Did you see that the Monday night game is going to be in Mexico?
Yeah, I also did. Yeah, I saw that. They have Germany, they have England, they have Mexico. Now they're saying that they're going to try and move to two more European countries.
I like how international the NFL is becoming.
Next thing you know, it's going to be every week is going to be like a different country.
Like just to spread the word of American football around the entire world is just very fascinating and cool. Like,
yeah, because obviously our football is nothing compared to like the world's football, because world's football is soccer.
And sorry to like tell some of you fans this, I'm not the biggest fan of soccer, but I will tune in to the World Cup, which actually starts in like 3 days. Actually,
I know we'll probably cover that a little bit, keep you updated. Even though it's not our traditional football, but we will keep you updated. Obviously, it'll be fun. Team USA with that.
Did you see what they did with the Team USA logo?
Yeah, I won't talk about that right now. I'll talk to you about that after the podcast.
Sure.
But some other shocking news. Amari Cooper no longer a Green Bay Packers. He is now a Houston Texan.
Less up. Amari Rogers. I think you said Amari Cooper.
Did I say Amari Cooper? I meant Amari Rogers. God damn it.
I wish Amari Cooper was a Green Bay Packer.
Well, I said that I said he went to the Texans, so wouldn't be quite there. No, this game is a shock.
Yeah, at least hypothetically, like he would have been in Green Bay. I'm kind of just thinking about that, but yeah, thank God Amari Rogers is out of there.
I did see this stat line. He had 8 catches and 7 fumbles with his time in Green Bay. He's basically Jalen Reagor. He's basically Jalen Reagor, but on steroids. He's worse.
On steroids.
Well, not actual steroids, but he makes Jalen Reagor look
a little bit better.
He makes him look better. Honestly, Reagor drafted by the Eagles right before Justin Jefferson, so we have 2 first-round receivers on our team.
That's crazy to think he was drafted in that position, and then Jefferson was after that, and he's proven he's the best receiver.
Oh, yeah.
But, dude, I'm freaking glad Amari Rogers is out of Green Bay. I know every other Packer fan can back me up on that one. Like, we did not like this guy as much as freaking King, whatever his freaking face is, who played corner for our team.
Kevin King.
Yes, Kevin King. He made me so mad.
Oh yeah,
so mad. No. He literally threw the NFC Championship game a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but Yeah, he has 8 catches. The Packers 7 fumbles. Obviously, each catch he didn't fumble it. Obviously, he was a punt returner. Fumbled a lot.
He had his troubles.
But yeah. Along with that, Benjamin got released and got picked up right away by the Texans. So
Texans
maybe,
trying to make some moves.
so yeah, maybe they're trying to build around Davis Mills. I know Brandon Cooks want to get out of there, but I don't know. He's starting to get some weapons around him.
Little bit, and I feel like
They're
another.
rusty daggers, but they're not the super sharp, shiny swords.
Yeah, and another reason that they made these moves was to like be like, we're already like the worst team in the league. Let's just try to do something
Yeah.
to like get some of these guys going in their careers because obviously they did not go off to a great start. So I think it's a good thing what the Texans are doing.
I think when you're at the lowest of the lows in your career, you get picked up by the Texans. I think that's how that works.
Like it stinks to think that as like a player and like imagine like kind of what you're going through because you're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh great, I get to play for the worst team in the league. But you got to see it as an opportunity to get yourself better. And then that's when you can up your trade stock. If, yeah.
I forgot what coach it was, but I saw on TikTok the other day. It was like, oh, if a player did bad during practice or a game, like the coach threatened them to trade him to the worst team. And at that time, it was like Cleveland. So it was like Landry ended up going because he had the same coach with Odell. I can't remember. Oh, it was the Dolphins. That's who it was. Because it was when Landry was in Miami. They made a threat to him to trade him to the Browns, and sure shit, he got traded to the Browns.
Yep. Didn't he actually perform pretty decently in Cleveland?
I think he did all right. Because Odell was mostly injured in Cleveland.
All right. So his Cleveland Browns stats, if I can pull these up. All right, can I just look at the career stats that this guy has? It's kind of tough to see like his stats for the years that he. Okay, here we go. So his first year in Cleveland was in 2018, and it says that he played 16 games, but
Yeah, because you got to remember, it was 17-game seasons back then.
oh yeah, that's right.
Now it's, what, 18 now?
This guy actually performed pretty well. So he had 81 receptions for 976 yards. This was his best season in Cleveland, by the way. He averaged 12 yards a reception, and he only had 4 touchdowns throughout the year, but he almost had 1,000 yards. But if you compare that to his time when he was in Miami,
That's a lot better, wasn't it?
his best year in Miami was in 2015, where he had 110 receptions for 1,157 yards, and he only had 4 touchdowns.
Huh.
So the most touchdowns he's had in a season was 2017. He had 9.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of insight on Jarvis Landry when he went from Miami to Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. No, but
So he didn't do that bad.
No, he really didn't. Now, obviously, he's having injury troubles with the Saints now.
Yeah, I think his career is starting to.
Oh, speaking of injury, Michael Thomas is on IR, out for the season with what else? An ankle injury, so.
Yeah, surprise, surprise.
Slant boy ain't ready no more slants.
He gets injured every single season.
Yeah. After that 2018 stellar year, he hasn't been the same.
Yeah.
I forgot he was even a player.
There's no way you forgot that. That's got to be a joke.
No, I actually legit because he was out for like the first part of the season. He came back, played 3 games, and then he's on IR again. He's out for the year. So he
Yeah,
was
the
just
injury
kind of
bug
he
hit him
popped.
pretty
He
bad.
literally popped in. It's like, oh wait, I ain't supposed to be here. Deuces.
That's facts, actually. And we still have to go over the football games for this week
Oh shit, yeah, we do.
and our scores and predictions or whatever.
Yeah, I guess we'll speed run these. All
Okay.
right, let's pull them up.
Yeah, I almost forgot that we had to go over the score
Same
because the
here.
next time that we're gonna talk or have each other on the podcast again will be Monday night. So
Yeah. Put down your score predictions. So we have Green Bay.
we were not prepared.
Yeah, totally forgot about that. I was like, okay, we're gonna go over power rankings, injuries. I was like, oh, that should be it. All right, Green Bay versus Tennessee. If you look at the script, I'm placing down,
I see what you're doing. Okay, so
so we can
yeah,
remember.
kicking off with or kick off week 11 with the Thursday night football game, which I thought I was going to be going to. The Tennessee Titans against the Green Bay Packers. We're just going to say what our score predictions are. We're not really going to talk about each team
Yeah, we didn't want to make
individually
this a super long episode.
because we've kind of already talked about each of these teams. Unless we want to talk about the teams that weren't in the rankings that we didn't mention, we could do that.
We could talk about it a little bit, but I kind of want to speed run through these.
Okay, sounds good. So I have the Green Bay Packers winning this football game. It's gonna be really close. I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna be able to get it done, but I think it's mainly gonna be the running game from the Packers, and I think the Packers' rush defense is gonna stop Derrick Henry. And the wide receiver list, Tennessee Titans, Packers are gonna win this game 24-17.
24-17. I think Tennessee's gonna win this game. I'm gonna say it's obviously the wide receivers on both sides are kind of neutral. I think it really comes down to the running game, like you said. So I'm gonna take. Obviously, it's King Henry. You can always rely on him. I feel like he's gonna tear up this Packers defense. I'm gonna pick it in a nail biter. Tennessee 27, Green Bay 24.
Both got the same Green Bay score. Nice. Okay. Going to Sunday, my birthday. The first game on the Sunday slate is the Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. Give me the Chicago Bears in this one in an offensive shootout. I'm gonna go with 34-31.
34-31.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
sir.
I think Atlanta's gonna pull through this game. I think Cardinal Patterson's going to find his footing again after a bad week against Carolina. I think he's going to go off for 2 touchdowns. Give me 28-13 Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Next game on the slate is the Eagles against the Colts. As we know, the Eagles just lost a pretty important game, and the Colts won a pretty important game for their season. Jeff Saturday, this guy's going to go 2-0 in his NFL career.
Really?
As a head coach, I got the Colts winning this one, even after we both shit on them the past week. Colts are going to win this football game 24-21.
All right. Even though I hate the Eagles, I'm going to take Philly in this one. It's the Colts. I think Jeff Saturday's going to get a wake-up call from Philadelphia. It's like, ring, ring, bitch.
Nah. Jeff Saturday, he's a freaking menace.
Give me 35-17 Philly.
All right, the next game is an AFC East matchup between the New York Jets and the New England Patriots.
Ooh, this
Last
should be a
time
good
these
one.
two teams played, the Patriots and Bill Belichick got the best of Ryan Salah and the New York Jets. So this is a toss-up for me. The game's in New England. I'm gonna bank on the Patriots defense to play a stellar football game. I mean, the Jets defense, they're gonna play stellar as well. But give me the New England Patriots in this one in a low-scoring affair, 17-14.
All right. I'm gonna take the Jets in this one.
We've
This
been different on all
I
four of
know
these matchups.
we
Wow.
haven't agreed. Yeah, give me New York. I like them better.
I think we're gonna agree on the next one, to be honest.
I think this is gonna be a more of a shootout, but I'm a little higher score. I'm gonna give me 28-24.
Wow. Okay. So for the next matchup, we got the Commanders and the Texans. Going to this one, the Commanders came out with an outstanding win against the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Texans. Who did they play last week?
They play the Giants.
They played the Giants. That's right, and they lost by 8. I'm gonna take the Washington Commanders on this one. I'm hoping Taylor Heineke is starter quarterback for this game. I think James Robinson, he's gonna do really well. Incredible story for this man.
Brian Robinson.
I always mess up that name.
James
God damn
Robinson's
it.
with the Jets.
Is he on the Jets? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Incredible story, by the way, for Ryan Robinson. He was actually one of the players who got shot in the leg.
No, he
or-
wasn't one. He was the.
I thought there were 2 guys who got shot.
No, it was just him.
Shit. Well, hats off to that guy because he has definitely gone through a lot of adversity and a lot of fight. So yeah, give me the Commanders in this one. I'm gonna go with 30-20.
All right. I'm as well gonna go with Washington after they just upset the Philadelphia Eagles, but I think they're right. I think it's gonna be 24-10. That Commanders defense. I think they get Chase Young back this week, so he's gonna cause a problem.
That's a big move right there. Then yeah.
He was another one that we forgot to put on our injury list, but yeah,
A game we finally agree on.
yeah. Let's hope we don't lose this one. All right. Next game.
Next up is the Rams and the Saints. Both of these teams struggling very much.
I feel like we might agree on this one as well.
This is gonna be a toss-up game for me. I'm gonna take the Saints in this one. The Rams are just falling apart. They're losing their pieces. They are getting Matt Stafford back for this week, but I just don't think it's gonna make much of a difference, to be honest.
No.
The Saints defense in New Orleans is pretty scary to face. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Saints 21-17.
All right. As well as going to take New Orleans, like you said. Scary dealings play in the Metrodome. Rams just don't have that. They don't have that spark. They're losing Cooper Kupp, so that's another huge factor. I'm going to take them 28-17.
Same losing score. And then the next game that we got is going to be the crazy weather game.
Bills and Browns.
And the Bills. This is going to be a low-scoring game, dude. If the weather says or stays how it is predicted for this one, I could honestly see this game going to overtime and the score being 0-0.
You want to know the funny thing? The last time these two teams played that, it was in overtime. And another funny fact that I just learned, Josh Allen is 0-4 in overtime games in his career.
Holy cripes. I think this game's going to go in overtime, and the score will be 0-0.
So you're going to pick like 3-0? Is that what you're actually gonna go with? Don't tell
I'm
me.
taking the craziest shot here, saying the number 4 team on my rankings is going to lose this game.
Oh no!
The Browns are going to win. It's gonna be 3-0.
Oh my gosh! No fucking way!
It's either gonna be 3-0 to 6 or 6-0.
Oh my gosh!
People
I'm,
are gonna call me crazy on
I,
that
I,
one. But
I was gonna pick the Browns, but after
no
um
way.
um I don't know. It's Jacoby Brissett. Last time he was there, he beat them.
Hey,
I don't know. I mean, the
dude,
Bills might have this big snowball effect. I think they turn up. I think Buffalo turns up this week, and they get their shit back together, and they're going to win. I'm gonna say 28-10.
I'm gonna get so much hate for my prediction from people
No, not
because
only did you pick
I
Cleveland, you're picking in overtime 3-0. They can't kick the fucking ball.
I don't, dude. I don't know. It's gonna be
It's gonna be a run heavy
really
game. Actually, wait a
interesting.
minute. It's gonna be a run heavy game.
Yeah, and
You
Nick
know what?
Chubb is
You
gonna
know
be
what? You know
good.
what? You know what? I'm changing it. I'm changing it. I'm picking Cleveland now. I'm picking Cleveland. A different score. I'm gonna go 21 to 10.
Okay, change my score to 6-0.
That's
6-0 in
that's that's
overtime.
still not better.
Yes, it is. It's a touchdown.
Okay, I have to put in OT. Okay,
But here's the thing: people are gonna hate on me for this because I have the Bills as my number 4 team in the rankings,
I know they're
and
my number 6.
where are the Browns even at? Like,
I don't know
why are we picking the Browns to beat the Bills?
because we're stupid.
Dude,
Okay,
watch it happen.
okay.
If
What's
my score ends up happening, I deserve to get $1 million.
You deserve to host one episode. No, what's what's the next game?
Right, so the next game on the list is the Panthers and the Ravens.
All right.
In this one, Baltimore Ravens, they're once again like that pretty good football team that hasn't really done much, but I mean the Panthers, they've been a struggling team pretty much all season long. Ever since they have fired Coach Matt Rule, they've been trying to figure out their identity, and after they trade Christian McCaffrey, things kind of just fell apart for them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take the Browns or not the Browns, the
The
Ravens,
Ravens.
yes, in a pretty darn good fashion of a win, uh, 28-10.
Okay. I'm as too well gonna take the Ravens. Uh, Nothing much I can really say. Like you said, Carolina hasn't been doing good. They did beat Atlanta on Thursday night, so keep that in mind. I think it's gonna be closer. I think it's gonna be 21-20. It's gonna be an ugly game for them, but they're gonna pull away with it.
Nice. Okay. Next on this list, I think this one is also a big toss-up. The Lions and the Giants.
Ooh.
The Lions are riding a 2-game winning streak. Tough to say that for like any Lions fans, to be honest, because I mean that just hasn't really happened in recent history. Um, New York Giants, pretty complete football team. Once again, these people are going to hate my pick because I'm picking the Lions
Oh my
in this
gosh.
game. The
Yeah.
Lions are going to win this game in overtime.
In overtime?
Yep. It's going to be 24-21.
Oh, so they win by a field goal.
People are going to call me crazy, but once again, I mean, that game also might have weather going on, but
You know what? New York's gonna run. Saquon's gonna run all over them. I feel like he's gonna have 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards, with like 20 carries. Give me New York in this one, 20-7. I mean 28-7.
Yeah, like this Lions and Giants game, it's kind of like my upset of the week game, but I
Yeah,
mean, my main upset of the week is the
yeah,
Browns.
that's both of ours, really. Yeah,
It's
Cleveland.
interesting that we both picked the Browns, though. Like,
You have another reason that it's just like, oh shit, like what the hell is wrong with us? Like I think the Bills are gonna win, but for
it's gonna,
shits and gigs,
it's gonna fucking snow like 8 feet.
I know.
I don't see how, and it's gonna be 30-mile-an-hour winds. How the frick is anybody gonna do anything on the field? For
I
real.
don't know.
That's, dude, I really hope it doesn't get postponed or something.
If it does, we'll repick that game.
Yes, that's our condition. All right, so the next game we have is the Raiders and the Broncos
Oh no!
in Denver. It's gonna be an absolute garbage fest.
Hey, you remember what happened the last time we said that?
It was a great football game.
It was. Who are
Why
you
did
taking
we
this
be
though?
with the Raiders again? Like we were talking the Raiders and the Colts before.
The Raiders a new trash team.
I don't understand how the Raiders are becoming trash. I think Coach McDaniels is probably the issue for them. Like I
Yeah.
don't see how they're struggling this much, especially when you get one of the best receivers in Devontae Adams. Um, I'm gonna take the Denver Broncos in this one. Pretty low scoring game. 17-10.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna go Las Vegas. You have Josh Jacobs. You still have Devontae Adams. You know that defense is still pretty stellar. I don't think they can get anything going on offense. Give me a shootout. Give me 20-17 Las Vegas.
I just don't get how the Raiders have this talent and they're doing this poor.
I know.
Like it's kind of the same with the Broncos though, because like
Mm-hmm.
everybody expected Russell Wilson to be cooking,
Yeah.
and it's just turned to a dumpster fire at that point. All right, so the first 325 game on the slate for Week 11 is the Cowboys and the Vikings.
Yes, sir.
This game, I think, is gonna be a really good football game.
Oh
The
yeah,
fact
for
that it's
sure.
in Minnesota, though, I'm gonna pick the Vikings in this one. But I think it's gonna be another pretty close game. The Cowboys, they like we've talked about, they lost a pretty crucial game or pretty bad game. Would you rather? Um, but Dak Prescott, he's gonna start to figure things out again.
He is
Hopefully,
facing a tougher secondary.
hopefully they can keep Tony Pollard in as a starter. I don't know if Ezekiel Elliott is making his return yet. Um, but then for the Vikings, they're stacked on the offensive end, and their defense too. They're playing very good football, especially in the second half. The second half, they've been figuring things out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm taking the Vikings in this one, 31-24.
All right, I think I'm also gonna take Minnesota. This one, you're in Minnesota. You don't get the new nightmare of Kirk Cousins. It's still not prime time though, thank God. But yeah, the better defense than the Cowboys. Obviously, biggest concern is Parsons. You're gonna have Diggs up on Jefferson. Diggs hasn't been doing too well this year.
I think the key for your team is just to run the ball.
Get Dalvin going. Get Cook. Get Dalvin going. Get Justin Jefferson going.
Just like
We should
stay
be
away from
fine.
the pass rush of Dallas. If you stay away from the pass rush of Dallas, you're chilling. That's what the
Yeah.
Packers did to win.
I'm gonna take this in another close game, 24-21 in Minnesota fashion.
That's a pretty good score call for sure. All right, so the next game we have is the rematch of the game that I went to begin the season, which was the Bengals and the Steelers. Bengals, they had their bye week this past week. They're still trying to get healthy. especially with Jamar Chase. Prayers for a speedy recovery for him because he's a great
Mm-hmm.
football player. And then the Steelers, on the other hand, Kenny Pickett, he's starting to figure things out on the offensive end. George Pickens figuring out his offensive identity as well. They got TJ Watt back last week. Didn't do much, but I'm expecting TJ Watt to get a few sacks on Joe Burrow this week. But I got the Bengals winning their revenge game against the Steelers. Uh, give me the Bengals. I'll go with 30-20.
All right, high scoring affair. I'm as well going to take Cincinnati in this one. Just that first game, I think it was just kind of a fluke. Everyone started calling the Super Bowl hangover when it really wasn't. But yeah, I'm going to take Cincinnati this one. I'm going to go 27-13.
And then we are down to our last two games of week 11. So the Sunday night game, Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. Yes, once again, the Chargers are playing on Sunday Night Football.
In
Don't
prime
know
time.
why. Honestly, do not know why. This is going to be another good football game. These two teams played each other in week 2, I believe, on Thursday night, and they played a really good game. This was
That's
the
when
game where Herbert got
injured.
injured
Yeah.
on like the final 2 drives of the game, and he tried to play it through, but couldn't. Kansas City ended up winning that game. I'm gonna say this is gonna be a revenge game for the Chargers. Even though I have the Chiefs as the #1 team, I think this is gonna be the breakout game for Justin Herbert.
You're going against almost all of your top 5 power rankings.
I know. People are gonna hate me for it, but I think this is gonna be the game where Justin Herbert finally breaks out, and it's just gonna be a shootout from both ends. This is gonna be a really high scoring game. I'm gonna go with the Chargers 41, Chiefs 38.
Good Lord. I have the complete exact opposite of you. I'm taking Kansas City in this one. Chargers are banged up. Everyone is in the hospital and cast. If you touch them, they break. Give me Kansas City 35 and Chargers, I'm going to say 21.
It is pretty funny how I'm going against like every single team I got.
Let's see. You're going against the Chiefs. You're with the Vikings. You're going against the Eagles. You're against the Bills. Dolphins are a bye.
If the weather wasn't bad,
You're
I would not
against
go
the
with Bills.
Giants. You're against your Giants, who are at 6. Ravens, I think you picked.
Because the Lions are on a hot streak right now.
Yeah, you picked Baltimore. The Jets, I'm pretty sure you picked the Jets. No, you picked New England. And then the Cowboys, which you picked Minnesota. So 9 out of your 10 you have picked against. The only one being the Vikings, because you have the Vikings and the Cowboys in the top 10.
What can I say? I'm a man of ballsy decisions.
You're not a man of your word. All right, last one, we got 49ers against the Cardinals.
In this one, give me the Cardinals. I'm not there with the 49ers. I just have not been all year. I get that they have a pretty good defense. They got Christian McCaffrey now, but McCaffrey literally has not proven anything to me. Jimmy Garoppolo, average quarterback at most. And then George Kittle has barely done anything this year. Same for Deebo Samuel. It's mainly been Brenden Ayuk. Cardinals, they should have Kyler Murray back. Speaking of that, I need to watch the Hard Knocks episode 2 on the Cardinals after this, probably. But yeah, with Kyler Murray coming back, he's going to break that spell after the new Call of Duty game came out because it's already been long enough. Yeah, Cardinals. Let me take them in Mexico. Score. Uh, we'll go with 24-20.
All right, I am taking San Fran in this one. Cardinals, they're not too impressive. Kyler Murray, he hasn't won since the new Call of Duty came out.
He's
You got
ending
you
the
got
streak,
you
man.
you you got D Hop. No one. I guess you could put Buddha in there, but you're putting your safety on a receiver.
I don't know if Buddha's healthy yet.
Oh really?
Really?
But I'm gonna take San Fran. I'm gonna take them 35-20. They blow them out of the water in Mexico. No, that is our week 11 game picks right there for you. Brenden, me being a man of my words most of the time for my top 10. Brenden, on the other hand, not so much.
There are times where you can have your list of your top 10 and the teams can just take an L in 1 week. Like, it happens.
Yeah.
But, dude, I feel like I actually feel like all of my reasoning is valid, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I obviously like a lot of them. Green Bay, I can see that. I don't know why I did that. 27-24. What did you do pick Green Bay? 27-24?
27-24.
I picked Tennessee 27-24, so.
Yep. And then, like, I could see the Colts beating the Eagles. I seriously can.
I don't see that.
I think Jonathan Taylor is going to run him over. That's just me personally. And then, I mean, Jets and Patriots. The Patriots have already beaten the Jets this year, and that was in New York/New Jersey.
Yeah. We've agreed on 5 games.
That's hilarious.
I think last week we almost agreed on every single one.
The Browns and the Bills, though, that game is going to be such a fucking meme.
It really is.
I really hope I get my score prediction correct in that game.
If you do, I will give you $100.
Hell yeah, I'm not losing anything. Except some dignity, I guess, because you're saying I'm not a man of my word.
Yeah, but we just got over the 2-hour mark. This was not supposed to go this long.
It's because we forgot we had to go over the scores or predictions.
Yeah, honestly, this is episode 3. We're still trying to figure out everything out, but we pretty got a good understanding of everything. We won't be on Buzzsprout anymore. We're in some complications there. We're on YouTube, obviously. Looking to start on Spotify. Obviously, down on the sidelines, obviously, we gave you a lovely NFL logo to look at, not instead of a black screen. Remember, we are college students, so we are trying to do our best. Obviously, we're not majors in this, but
we're working in our podcasting schedule with our school schedules, and
honestly,
literally the best time for us to record is at night.
Yeah, I work all day, classes all day, and then I have practice. And then Brenden, on the other hand, he has night classes, so we gotta do them somewhat late.
Never take night classes, dude.
I don't plan on it.
They are so annoying, and I think that's the reason why I sleep in almost every freaking day.
I don't blame you, but I think that's going to wrap everything up for this episode, unless you have anything else to add.
I got nothing except the Browns and Bills game is going to be the game of the year.
Not after Minnesota and Buffalo.
Dude, it's going to be so fun to watch. I cannot wait to watch that football game. I was joking, by the way, about game of the year. It's going to be really bad.
So. No, shit. No, but signing off from the Waste Sideline at Lakeland University in Plymouth, Wisconsin, Matty Icy, a.k.a. Matt Crawley.
I need to give myself a nickname. God damn. Matty Icy. That's got a pretty good ring to it. Kind of like Joe Burrow. But yeah, on the home sideline in Stevens Point, Wisconsin, I am Brenden Retzloff, and we thank you guys for tuning in to Down on the Sidelines. We will see you guys next time.
Have a nice night, everyone.